Hi everyone, welcome to www.digitaltopiadigital.com. Um, in this episode, I'm really glad to say we're joined by Bryan from PH Creative. Hi Bryan, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, pleased to be involved.
We're going to talk about the future of digital marketing. I met Bryan at the Digital Marketing Show last year, back in November, a few months ago, and Bryan gave, I thought, really one of the best talks of the show about the future of digital marketing, which hopefully we're going to expand upon today. Before we do, Bryan, can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and the kind of work that you do, please?
Yeah, no problem. I run a fully integrated digital inbound marketing agency based in Liverpool, which is widely known as the centre of the universe as far as we're concerned. We work with clients such as Nationwide, Tesco's, Vodafone, MasterCard, such like. We do social media, we build websites, we do full content strategies, and generally look to grow businesses using digital tactics.
Yes, well, that really came across. The breadth of clients you had was very impressive when we met. So you, just following on from the talk, then you talked a lot about how the future of marketing is changing, and the kind of things, the way in which the kids today who are using digital marketing, the digital natives as they're called,
Right.
how they will outperform us once they get beyond their teenage years.
Yeah, sure.
So talking about the intensity of a competition and the platforms, all of the emerging platforms marketers need, can you tell us, what would you say in a nutshell, the number one thing that marketers need to do today just to stay relevant in digital marketing?
Yeah, I think, firstly, it's a really good question. Many businesses that we work with fall into the trap of being very busy with tactics. Being bogged down with how to use various channels, and actually they take their eye off the ball in terms of strategy and the focus on their customers. And I think in a digital world with lots of channels and lots of new things happening all the time, I think what businesses need to learn and focus on the most is actually just the basics of putting their customer first, understanding their true personas of their audience, and recognizing that no longer is their brand the most important thing in a marketplace, but actually it's their customer, and they are dictating how and when to interact online. So it's following those simple guidelines of understanding that the customer is the hero, and staying within the business strategy as well. And that starts outside of digital before you even look at digital marketing. I think typically when we work with new brands, we'll strip away the digital marketing aspects that they expect us to engage with straight away, and make sure we understand the fundamentals of what the business is trying to achieve, how it wants to be positioned in the marketplace, and put our best foot forward from that perspective.
Okay, so talk about how can we actually get through to those customers? Everyone's busy, and lots of companies traditionally spend advertising budgets on TV advertising, for which people just fast forward through the ads on their TV on demand service. How can brands, or how can you help brands get past that busy factor and engage with people on their own time?
Well, another great question. I think you've got to start by waking up to the fact that if your audience is too busy to consume your marketing message, it's not that the marketing message is in the wrong place necessarily, but I would also suggest that it's the wrong marketing message. We're all busy, but we're all still consuming content more than we've ever consumed content before. And you're quite right, we fast forward the adverts. Interestingly enough, I had a conversation with Sky the other day. They are introducing a new product which is going to be like Google AdWords, but for TV. So they're going to be able to add more context around advertising specific to their audience. So that might change things. But if we're not watching the adverts, we're fast forwarding. We are looking at our mobile phone, our tablet, and I think advertisers need to recognise that they need to put their advertising where the eyeballs are. So where we're consuming content, and it's not an excuse. If people say they're too busy to consume your message, it's you. It's not them. It's you. So test and measure. Change your approach. Change your message, and make sure that you put in the content where the eyeballs are, because that's what counts.
So, kind of following on from that question, and where the eyeballs are, there's so many new social media platforms, and they're all emerging, and they all need time for marketers to spend trying to find an audience on new platforms, versus getting the audience back to your own website or your own mobile app. Given there's limited time in a day or limited people, teams of limited sizes, how can people actually balance the time they spend on not just social media but emerging social media? And should that be the aim, to engage on emerging social media, or to bring them back to your own website or mobile app?
Yeah, I think that's a big question. It's a big question, and I think from first of all, where you should spend your time. Let me start by saying this isn't easy. There isn't any silver bullet. There isn't any piece of software that can take all the pain away by any means. But you can work smarter. You can work efficiently. We use HubSpot as our marketing automation tool, which gives us back literally hours in the day for what we try and achieve for our clients and ourselves to grow the agency. So using the right tools is really, really important. In terms of how do you keep up with the emerging channels, you get out of it what you put in. You don't have to do this, and everybody who understands their audience should know in the round where their audience largely spends their time, and that's where you should spend your efforts. However, you will be rewarded in this very competitive marketplace and very digitally ingrained world now if you put the work in, the groundwork in, when there are emerging channels. If you get in early, you will see the benefits. You'll reap the reward for your efforts. Now, it's different on every business case. I think you've got to make a call. Is it relevant to your business? Is it worth the investment? And you've got to do it with your eyes wide open, that you may not see a return on that investment for 6, 9, 12 months. And that's where, you've got to use your gut. You've got to understand your audience and make a call. But you only get out of it what you put in. If you look at what Joe Polizzi says at Content Inc., he talks about it's all about getting the audience back to your domain, because you own it. You're only leasing space on the social channels, and it should all be a derivative of the content on your website. Now, I totally follow that, and if you can build your email marketing list, and if you can build intelligence, build data, and take more control, I totally buy into that. But then, when you look at what Gary Vee says, and social channels aren't just funnels, and it's not just infrastructure for bringing people back to your website. It is the place to engage. Then also see that balanced view, and really, for me, I'm somewhere in the middle, because I think the audience dictates how they want to engage content, what content they will even tolerate in the first place. And if you have the audacity to ask somebody to stop consuming content where they want to consume content and go to your website, then you've got to make sure that, first of all, the content is of sufficient quality, it's relevant, and it has the context, and they better not be disappointed when they get there. So quite a broad answer there,
Yeah.
but I guess the point is, you get out of this what you put in. It's not easy, and you're only going to win if you are smart, using the right tools, and you understand the audience enough to get those marginal gains that really count.
Excellent. Well, that actually brings me neatly onto the next question, which was about the automation tools.
Okay.
Probably as many new social media platforms, there's a whole slew of automation tools out there, all promise to be better and do this better. So rather than going into specifics, I just wondered, could you tell the viewers out there what kind of features or functionality they should look for, or what's the most important features and functionality they should look for in automation?
Okay, again, a really good question here, and I'm going to start by sidestepping the direct answer. My advice here would be, start with an absolute blank piece of paper, and the first thing to write down here and discover is, what are you trying to achieve from your digital marketing? So start with business objectives. Let's look at the strategy of what you're trying to extract from the digital world, what you're trying to achieve. And only then can you start to look for a tool to fit your needs. Every business is different, but there are some things that I think will add value to any organization seriously enough to invest in marketing automation. I think it's got to be flexible. I think it's got to be intelligent enough to give you the insights that matter to your business and your audience. So those key metrics, it's not about an array or a huge dashboard of analytics. It's about those few numbers that make a difference to your bottom line. So the intelligence you're getting back from the marketing automation is absolutely fundamental. And of course, you need to be getting those efficiencies. If it's not saving you time, there's probably a better way of doing it. So, I don't think there's a one-size-fits-all answer there. It's about tailoring something to your needs. But first of all, the big thing, you've got to understand exactly what your needs are. And that's where most businesses fall down. They think they should be performing and delivering metrics to the out-of-the-box dashboard that is suggested, and that is just not the case.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Bryan. So we're almost out of time. I wanted to finish on kind of what you finished off in your talk about having a digital culture. I work with a lot of brands. You obviously work with a lot of brands. Everyone thinks they have a digital culture, and everyone thinks it's digital. So how, if you could tell the viewers, what are the key things that they need to know whether their team or their client actually is or has a digital culture?
Yeah, it's like, what's the litmus test, I guess. I don't think there's any one answer to this, unfortunately. I seem to have said that a lot in this interview. But I think the litmus test is it's you. If you expect your team to be digitally ingrained, it's got to start with you. I'm a great believer in shadow of the leader. And if you're not digitally ingrained, then you can't expect your team to be digitally ingrained as well. And there are some telltale signs, I guess. Where do you consume information? How do you go about your business day? Are you leading by example? Are you brave enough to embrace social media and inbound marketing with all its glory? And only then I think that will pass down to the team. If your digital channels are literally just paying lip service to other forms of marketing deemed more important, like the dusty box of brochures that everyone has under their desk, then that's probably a telltale sign that there's some work to be done. Second thing, the employee value proposition. Are they backing you up with their personal social channels? Because do they believe in your brand, and are they adding value and socially sharing outside of work? And I think those things are good telltale signs. But the quick answer is the litmus test is you as the leader, because I think it's shadow of the leader. They will follow if you're digitally ingrained yourself.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Bryan. I think that was so valuable to everyone. Bryan, tell everyone what's the best URL and the best social media account for people to learn more about you and PH Creative.
Well, you can visit our website, www.ph-creative.com. Check out our blog. There's lots of great stuff there. If you want to ask any specific questions, use the hashtag AskPH on Twitter. And if you search for that in iTunes, you'll follow a fantastic podcast that is updated weekly. So there's a number of ways there, but Twitter, our website, and use that hashtag AskPH.
Thank you very much. I'll obviously put all of those posts below the video. So thanks again, and just leaves me to say thank you all for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, come over and watch. Come to www.digitopiadigital.com. I've got a newsletter you can sign up to where you can watch and see more great digital stuff. Bryan, is it okay if we do a follow-up if anyone has any questions?
Absolutely. No problem at all.
Thank you so much. Guys, we'll see you next time. See you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.